My name is Ryan Vasey, and this is the world that I hope my children will live in. So, first and foremost, the future is impossible to predict. It is constantly changing every day. You think you know what's going to happen. You're hoping that you know what's going to happen. You know, you're trying to make predictions, and things just change. It's not something that anybody can really predict, but it's fun. It's fun to try and predict, try and see if you can be accurate, and try and put yourself ahead by doing it. So these are my predictions on the world that my children will grow up in, and I'm basing it largely off of our discussion topics from class and the things that I see happening in the world around us. So the first thing that I think will be a bigger influence on the world my children will grow up in is crypto and digital currencies. There's already talks all around the world of, I think in like Japan or something, there's already a society that is entirely on a digital currency, which is insane to me and kind of scary because I am not a fan of all of that. I like the system we have going with the cards are cool, and then having physical cash. It just works. I don't think we need to be going around fixing it, trying to streamline it. But so there's that, and I would definitely say that I think that digital currency will be far larger than cryptocurrencies. The fact that cryptocurrency is based, its value is based more on a peer-to-peer level. You know, you have your one-off breakouts like Bitcoin that are enormous now and worth a stupid amount of money. For the most part, a lot of cryptocurrencies are used as scams nowadays. These people, especially right now, I've seen a lot of videos in the news lately about people hyping up a coin and they pull the rug out of it and cash it out, and people are losing humongous amounts of money on it. So I would say digital currency is going to be much larger in the future, but cryptocurrency still will have its place. The next thing that I think will be a lot better in the future is the communication technology. So communication technology, just looking at how fast it's grown from like my parents to me, is insane. And if it can keep even half that pace, it's going to be so much better. I mean, I still have dead zones driving through cornfields. My phone won't get service, and hopefully in the future that'll be fixed. And also there was unified communications having more things easier to get to. I hope that their communications do get unified, and that we do not have to have a million little apps to check out every day. You know, people like to communicate Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook, then you gotta check your text messages. Your work might only communicate with you through your business email. You have your personal email. Too much. So I think that unified communication would be a great thing for the future. Next is AI. AI is huge. AI is such a big thing. I think AI is going to grow exponentially. I mean, when I was younger, it was just like a boogeyman, and it was just robots were going to take over the world. But now, people use AI regularly. I have a professor that uses AI to create his tests. So, seeing how fast that has grown and the capabilities of it, using it in medicine, using it in jobs, and looking at AI as more of a tool than a scary robot or a person or something like that. As people come around to that idea, I think it is going to become a very more commonplace technology, and that there's big things going to come from that. I believe that my children will be interacting quite a bit with artificial intelligence. And with that, there comes an element of scary, because you don't want people to become too reliant on it. I think people still need to be able to go outside. You know, they have all this AI, virtual intelligence, virtual reality. where people are just staying in their houses, and you can there's one game where you have the headset on and you're like a quarterback. You see people moving, there's defenders coming at you, and you get to make the throw. But it really doesn't compare to the real life experience of going outside, touching grass, and having developed the skills on your own. I think that is a huge deal, and it's something that I will make sure my children do. I will not let them be inside all day. I hope the society sticks with pushing people outside. Next is gene editing. Gene editing, I am so hopeful for, because I read an article talking about how there's a chance for gene editing to cure things like AIDS and cancer. I don't know how true that is, but I'm very hopeful for that. If you can cure, and it also talks about the gene editing being able to cure hereditary diseases like Huntington's disease, things like that. That would be enormous, to be able to just take things out and fix things. That would be such a big deal. Things that we can't even dream of curing now. To be able to cure them would be huge. I'm very hopeful for that. But also with that, I have a fear of price gouging, because even as it is, cancer treatments, AIDS treatments, all of these treatments, anything to do with the hospital, they throw the price through the moon, and it's insane. So I'm hoping that, although there does need to be like an incentive for people to want to go to school longer, so it makes sense for doctors, nurses, people in the medical field, surgeons, to get more money, I hope they can find a reasonable price rather than just sending everything to the moon and just price gouging people like crazy. The next thing that I think we will see a lot of in the future is driverless cars. I believe that my children will be able to have a driverless car, as long as it becomes like more affordable, you know what I mean? Not rich by any means, but it's driverless cars could become a lot more commonplace. You see them now with Tesla has like a driverless car, and they're already a thing, and I think that would be pretty cool. It could save a lot of lives. People we're having to worry about distracted driving. You spill coffee on yourself and crash, things like that. And then people would actually be able to work. Like if you have an hour drive to your meeting, the whole hour there, your car can be driving and you can be working on something in your car. I think that is a incredible concept. So basically, in conclusion, I believe that the world that my children will grow up in will be an insanely advanced society with all sorts of technological innovations that are really going to make life a lot easier for them. My hope is that the society does not get too caught up in all these technological innovations, trying to really just push all this and say you have to do this, that, the other. I hope that people still go outside. I want to see people still interacting face to face, not just communicating through a headset, which is part of my fear, is that the society in the future will just be so digital. You don't have to interact with people in person, which is such an important thing to be able to do. But all around, I think it will be a much brighter future. I believe that they will have access to a lot of things I couldn't even dream of, especially when I was younger, and that is going to be a pretty cool place. And hopefully I'll make sure they still go outside, but I hope the rest of society does the same thing, that we still push people outside into real sports, to go fishing, to have fun and enjoy the world.